The rain hammered the black umbrellas like accusations, each drop a reminder that silence had cost him everything. Alex stood at the edge of the grave, his polished shoes sinking into the mud of that gray Queens cemetery. Fists clenched so tight his knuckles bleached white. As the casket lowered into the earth, Jamie's casket, the man who'd been his anchor, his secret, his everything, Alex's throat burned with words he'd buried deeper than this hole. Words his family would hear for the first time today, or never at all. His mother, Evelyn, clutched his arm, her voice a fragile whisper amid the mourner's murmurs. He was like a son to us. Alex, why didn't you say more about how close you two were? But Alex couldn't answer. Not yet. The truth clawed at him. Jamie wasn't just a friend. He was the love that had reshaped Alex's quiet world into something fierce and alive. A love hidden in stolen glances and late-night confessions, now silenced forever by a drunk driver's whim on a rain-slicked Brooklyn bridge. Alex had always been the silent one in the Russo family, growing up in a cramped walk-up in Astoria, with his father's bellowing laughs over Sunday marinara and his sister's endless chatter filling the air like steam from Nana's pots. Alex learned early to fade into the wallpaper. Words felt like loose bricks, dangerous, liable to topple the fragile peace. At 12, when his dad lost the garage job and the yelling started, Alex retreated into sketch pads, drawing blueprints of imaginary homes where walls didn't echo with anger. By high school, he was the kid who nodded through lunch, his backpack heavy with unspoken crushes on boys whose shoulders brushed his in the hall. College at Pratt brought architecture majors and late-night studio sessions. But even there, Alex sketched more than he spoke, his designs speaking volumes his voice never could. Jamie exploded into that silence like sunlight through a cracked skylight. They met at a campus coffee shop during Alex's junior year, Jamie spilling his latte across Alex's blueprints with an apologetic grin that lit up the dingy room. "Oh man, sorry, I'm Jamie. Perpetual klutz and aspiring history teacher. Let me buy you a new one. And redraw that. It looks like a fortress." "What's the story?" Alex, heart pounding under his faded hoodie, mumbled something about safe spaces. But Jamie didn't let the quiet linger. He slid into the booth, peppering questions until Alex found himself laughing, actually laughing for the first time in months. From there, it was effortless. Jamie, with his easy Brooklyn drawl and endless energy, dragged Alex to dive bars in Williamsburg where indie bands wailed about heartbreak. And they talked, or rather, Jamie talked, and Alex listened, soaking in like parched earth. Jamie shared everything, his dreams of teaching kids about the underground railroads of love and resistance, his fear of disappointing his own tight-knit Italian clan in Bay Ridge who expected grandkids and gold crosses. Alex offered fragments, sketches of buildings that felt right, nights when the city's hum drowned out his doubts. But beneath the friendship bloomed something electric, tentative touches in crowded subways, a hand lingering on a knee during movie nights in Jamie's shoebox apartment. The first kiss happened on a humid July evening, after a rooftop party where fireflies danced like confessions. They'd snuck away to the edge, city lights sprawling below like a promise. Jamie turned, his face flushed from cheap beer and bravery, and cupped Alex's cheek. "I've been waiting for you to say it. But screw it, Alex. You're the only one who sees me. Really sees me." Their lips met soft at first, then hungry, the world narrowing to the taste of salt and summer. Alex pulled back, breathless, terror and joy warring in his chest. What if this breaks everything? Jamie's eyes, those ocean blue anchors, held steady. Then we rebuild it stronger. Together. But together came with shadows. Alex's family, devout Catholics with rosaries dangling from rearview mirrors, viewed that lifestyle through Sunday sermons and hushed judgments. His dad, Frank, a retired plumber with calloused hands and a temper like rusted pipes, once grumbled over dinner about those parades downtown ruining the neighborhood. Evelyn, softer but no less bound by tradition, prayed extra novenas for Alex's solitude, mistaking his quiet for piety. His sisters, Maria and Sophia, teased him about girls from church, oblivious to the ache he nursed alone. So they hid. Weekends became escapes, drives upstate to hike the Catskills, where Jamie would spin tales of ancient lovers defying odds, his voice weaving spells around Alex's guarded heart. In the city, it was coded glances at family barbecues, Jamie playing the best bud with backslaps and beer pong, while under the table, their pinkies brushed like lifelines. Alex poured his turmoil into work, landing a junior position at a firm in Midtown, designing lofts for affluent clients who never asked about his personal blueprints. Jamie, student teaching at a public high in the Bronx, lit up classrooms with stories of resilience. But at night, in their shared bed, finally, after a year of dancing around it, he'd trace Alex's spine and whisper, "One day, we'll shout it from the rooftops." That day stretched into years. They moved in together sub rosa, a cozy one-bedroom in Greenpoint with exposed brick and Jamie's history books stacked like fortifications. Alex turned 28, his once lanky frame filling out with quiet strength, lines of worry etching his brow from deadlines and doubts. Jamie, at 29, still carried that boyish spark, his laugh a rebellion against the world's weight. Their love deepened in the mundane, Alex cooking pasta Alfredo on rainy Tuesdays, Jamie surprising him with tickets to off-Broadway shows about forbidden desires. Sex was a revelation, tender explorations in dawnlight, fierce reclaimings after arguments about when they'd tell the world. But the fear lingered, a specter in Alex's silences. Then came the accident. It was a Thursday in late fall. Jamie heading home from parent-teacher conferences, the FDR drive a ribbon of taillights. The other driver, weaving through traffic with a blood alcohol level twice the limit, clipped Jamie's Prius at 70 miles an hour. Alex got the call at 2 a.m. The ER doctor's voice flat as asphalt. "I'm sorry, Mr. Russo." He didn't make it. The world imploded. Alex drove through blackout rain to the hospital, only to find Jamie gone, tubes and monitors silent, his vibrant face pale under fluorescent glare. In that sterile room, Alex finally broke, sobbing into Jamie's cooling hand, vowing silently, "I'll make this mean something. For us." The days blurred into funeral preparations. Alex selected the casket, a simple oak one, like the trees they loved and the plot in Queens, near where Jamie's grandparents rested. He penned the obituary, words flowing freer than ever. James Michael Callahan, beloved teacher, unwavering friend, and light to all who knew him. Family descended, Evelyn fussing over casseroles, Frank stoic with a flask hidden in his coat, sisters hugging tight. Jamie's parents, tear-streaked but grateful, thanked Alex for being the brother Jamie never had. Each platitude twisted the knife, brother, when Jamie had been his soul. Now, under the relentless rain, the service unfolded. The priest's eulogy droned on about heavenly rewards. But Alex's mind replayed their last morning. Jamie humming Sinatra in the shower, stealing a kiss over coffee, promising, "Dinner at your folks tonight? I'll charm him." Alex had nodded, too buried in blueprints to see the fragility. As the crowd thinned, Evelyn tugged him again. "Son, you've been a ghost since it happened. Talk to me, what's eating you?" Frank grunted nearby, eyes on the grave. "Yeah, kid. Jamie'd want you opening up, not clamming like a damn oyster." The dam cracked. Alex's voice emerged hoarse, raw. "He wasn't just my friend, Dad. He was everything." The words hung, heavy as the downpour. Maria gasped. Sophia's hand flew to her mouth. Evelyn's eyes widened, searching his face. Frank shifted, discomfort etching his jowls, but he didn't interrupt. Alex pressed on, the truth spilling like floodwaters. "We loved each other. For years. I hid it because I was scared of you, of losing this family, of the world chewing us up. But Jamie, he made me brave. He saw the man I could be, not the shadow I hid behind." Silence swallowed the rain. Then, impossibly, Frank stepped forward, clapping a heavy hand on Alex's shoulder, not in rejection, but solidarity, rough as sandpaper but real. "Jesus, Alex." All this time, his voice cracked, eyes glistening. "I ain't perfect. Lost my way yelling at shadows when I should have listened. But love, that's the real blueprint. Son, don't let fear build your walls forever." Evelyn enveloped him, whispering, "My boy, we're here. Always were." In that muddy graveyard, amid the scent of wet earth and wilted lilies, Alex felt the weight lift, not gone, but shared. Jamie's spirit lingered in the wind, rustling leaves. A final nudge, speak your truth. Build the life we dreamed. As the family huddled close, umbrellas forgotten, Alex spoke of their adventures, the hikes, the laughs, the quiet intimacies that wove their hearts. Laughter mingled with tears, stories bridging the chasm of silence. Weeks turned to months, the ache a constant companion, but softened by openness. Alex returned to work, infusing his designs with Jamie's flair, open spaces for light to flood in. No hidden corners. He started a scholarship in Jamie's name for LGBTQ youth pursuing education. Watching wide-eyed kids claim their stories with the fire Jamie once kindled. Family dinners shifted, Frank asking halting questions about pride events. Evelyn knitting rainbow scarves. Sisters dragging him to brunches where he met others like him, men who'd loved in shadows, now stepping into sun. One crisp spring evening, Alex stood on their old rooftop, the city a glittering testament to endurance. He raised a glass of red wine, Jamie's favorite, to the stars. "You were right," he murmured. "We rebuilt stronger." Below, life pulsed, taxis honking, lovers linking arms, a world turning kinder, one truth at a time. In the end, love wasn't the silence Alex feared. It was the voice it finally gave him, echoing through a family forever changed, proving that even in loss, revelation could forge unbreakable bonds. The revelation at the grave didn't erase the nights Alex woke gasping. Jamie's absence a void that swallowed whole. He'd reach for the empty side of the bed, fingers tracing the indent where Jamie's warmth once pooled, only to find cold sheets and the faint scent of his cologne lingering like a ghost. Mornings brought rote routines, black coffee in a mug Jamie had painted with lopsided hearts. Commutes on the G train, where he'd stare at his reflection in fogged windows, wondering if bravery was just another word for surviving the unbearable. Work became his refuge, the drafting table a battlefield where lines and angles imposed order on chaos. His boss, a no-nonsense woman named Carla with silver streaks and a penchant for brutal feedback, noticed the shift. Russo, these elevations, they're alive. What's the spark? Alex hesitated, pencil hovering, then shared fragments. The accident, the funeral, the coming out that cracked his world open. Carla nodded, her eyes softening behind wire-rimmed glasses. Grief's a hell of a muse. Channel it, but don't let it bury you. She assigned him a passion project, redesigning a community center in the Bronx. A space for queer youth with art studios and counseling rooms. It felt like fate's quiet nod. Jamie's legacy etched in concrete and glass. Evenings dragged her back to family, now laced with tentative bridges. The Russos gathered Sundays as always, but the air hummed different, no more sidestepping silences. Maria, the eldest at 32, with her nurse's scrubs perpetually starched, grilled him gently over eggplant parm. So, tell us about him. Alex. The real him. He'd start slow, Jamie's habit of quoting Whitman during traffic jams. How he danced shirtless to Motown in their kitchen, hips swaying like he owned the stars. Sophia, 26 and fiery with her graphic design freelance gigs. Sketch caricatures mid-meal. Jamie as a superhero, cape flowing over Brooklyn Bridge. Laughter bubbled up, tentative at first, then full-throated, chasing shadows from the room. Frank's transformation was the slowest burn. The old man tinkered in the garage, wrench in hand, but now invited Alex to join, passing tools with gruff questions. This Jamie, he treat you right? No bullshit. Alex nodded, detailing the little things, surprise picnics in Prospect Park, midnight drives to Coney Island for cotton candy under neon ghosts. Frank grunted approvals. But one night, over beers on the stoop, he cracked open. I was like you once. Kid. Quiet. Loved your ma fierce, but scared shitless of my old man. He called it weakness. Took me years to see it was strength. Tears tracked his weathered cheeks. And Alex hugged him, awkward, bone-crushing, whispering, "Thanks, Dad." For seeing now, Evelyn's love wrapped softer. In gestures, a framed photo of Alex and Jamie from a hiking trip slipped onto his nightstand. Recipes clipped from magazines with notes like, Jamie would have loved this, spicy enough to wake the dead. She joined a PFLAG chapter at church. Her rosary beads now companions to rainbow pins. God made you whole. Mio figlio ci disse. Kissing his forehead. Hiding it, that was the sin, yet doubt not. At a support group Carla recommended, a circle of folding chairs in a Harlem basement, Alex spilled more. Men like him, widowers, partners lost to illness or indifference, voices thick with stories of hidden rings and hospital visit denials. There, he met Theo, a soft-spoken librarian in his early 30s with wire-rimmed glasses and a gentle smile that didn't demand. Theo listened without filling silences, sharing his own loss, a partner to cancer, and suggesting walks along the Hudson where words could float away on river breezes. Their friendship bloomed slow, a counterpoint to Jamie's blaze. Mornings at a riverside cafe, Theo nursing chai while Alex sketched park pavilions. "You draw like you're building homes for the heart," Theo observed. And Alex flushed, unused to such quiet insight. Evenings turned to dinners, pad thai from Corner Spot, debates over Foucault's take on power and desire. No sparks at first, just companionship, a hand on his back during grief's fresh waves. But one twilight stroll, as the sun dipped gold over the water, Theo paused. "Alex, you're healing. And it's beautiful." Their eyes met, and Alex leaned in, not for passion, but gratitude, the kiss light as fallen leaves. Panic followed. That night, alone, Alex agonized. Am I betraying him? Moving on too soon? He pored over Jamie's journals, unearthed from a box under the bed, pages filled with musings on history's lovers. Marginalia hearts around Alex's name. One entry gutted him. "If I'm gone tomorrow, tell him, love isn't a cage. It's wings. Fly." My architect. Tears soaked the ink, but clarity pierced. Jamie would want joy, not martyrdom. Telling the family-tested fresh waters. Over lasagna, Alex fumbled. "There's someone." "Theo." "A friend. Maybe more." Forks paused. Maria beamed first. "Good for you, bro. Invite him Sunday." Sophia hooped, already planning outfits. Evelyn crossed herself, then smiled. "Bring him to Zorro. We'll set an extra place." Frank cleared his throat, voice gravel. "Long as he treats you right. Like Jamie did." The approval landed like rain on drought, imperfect, but nourishing. Theo came, nervous in chinos and a button-down, bearing tiramisu. The table erupted, Frank's grilling on baseball loyalties, sisters' rapid-fire stories, Evelyn's effusive hugs. Laughter flowed, and under it, Alex caught Theo's glance, warm, promising. Later, on the walk home, Theo squeezed his hand. "Your family's incredible. You're incredible." In the doorway, their kiss deepened, a bridge from memory to maybe. But life, that cunning architect, plotted twists. The community center project hit snags, funding cuts from City Hall, protests from conservative councilmen decrying indoctrination spaces. Alex rallied, channeling Jamie's fire. Petitions circulated in queer bars, op-eds in the Village Voice. Nights blurred into strategy sessions with Theo pouring maps, their bond forging in shared purpose. Intimacy followed, slow undressings in lamplight, bodies mapping new territories with reverence for old scars. Summer sweltered in, bringing pride. Alex marched for the first time, rainbow flag draped like a cape. Family cheering from the sidelines, Frank with a sign, "Love wins." Russo style, the roar of the crowd drowned doubts. Jamie's spirit marching in every chant. That night, euphoric, Alex and Theo collapsed onto sheets, bodies entwining with a ferocity born of survival, love reclaimed, not replaced. Yet shadows lingered. A call from Jamie's mom shattered a quiet August afternoon. "Alex, dear." We're cleaning out his things. Found letters. "For you." Heart hammering, he drove to Bay Ridge, The Callahan home a shrine of photos and half-packed boxes. Mrs. Callahan, frail in her house dress, handed over a bundle tied with twine. He wrote them over the years. Said you'd know when. Alone in Jamie's boyhood room, posters of civil rights marches yellowing on walls. Alex untied the knot. Letters spilled, early ones giddy with infatuation, later missives philosophical on enduring love. The last, dated weeks before the crash. If fate's cruel, remember, our love was the revolution. Fight for yours. And Alex, find happiness again. That's the truest tribute. Sobs racked him. But in the wreckage, peace bloomed, permission granted. Chain snapped. Fall returned. Leaves carpeting paths like confetti from a wedding unheld. The community center broke ground. Alex laying the cornerstone with Theo's hand in his. Family gathered for the ribbon cutting, Evelyn beaming, Frank toasting with soda, sisters snapping pics. As shovels bit earth, Alex whispered to the wind, "We did it, Jamie." Stronger. Love, he learned, wasn't a single blueprint, but an evolving design, lines redrawn with each dawn, rooms added for new light. In Theo's quiet strength, Alex found echoes of Jamie's fire, a harmony rather than echo. And in speaking his truths, he'd built not just structures, but a legacy, a family woven tighter, a world nudged toward mercy. Winter gripped the city like a reluctant lover, snow blanketing rooftops in hush-white forgiveness. Alex's days filled with the hum of construction cranes over the Bronx site, steel beams rising like defiant spines against the cold. Theo joined him often, bundled in wool scarves, their breaths mingling in frosty clouds as they pored over blueprints. This place, Theo said one blustery afternoon, stamping snow from his boots, it's going to be a beacon. Like you, Alex pulled him close, the kiss tasting of hot cocoa from a thermos, a stolen warmth amid the chill. But reconciliation's path wound uneven. Holidays loomed. Thanksgiving a minefield of traditions laced with absence. The Russo table groaned under turkey and fixings, but Jamie's empty chair yawned like an accusation. Frank carved the bird with unsteady hands, joking hoarsely about extra dark meat for the quiet one, but his eyes betrayed the bluff. Evelyn ladled gravy, her voice lilting hymns to distract from the quiet. Maria and Sophia filled gaps with tales of hospital drama and client mishaps. But when Theo arrived, nervous gift of apple pie in tow, the air thickened with unspoken tests. Frank grilled him over pie. You read history? What's the lesson in all this? Coming out business. Theo met the gaze steady. For pausing. That silence kills slower than swords. Sir. But speaking, it liberates. Frank nodded slow, a grudging respect cracking his facade. Later, washing dishes, Evelyn pulled Alex aside. He's good for you, but don't rush. Jamie's heart still beats in yours. Alex hugged her fierce, the suds soaking his shirt. I know, Ma. This is addition, not subtraction. Christmas brought sharper edges. Jamie's family invited Alex to their Bay Ridge vigil. A tree twinkling with ornaments he'd helped hang years ago, each bauble a memory, the glass globe from their first getaway to the Poconos, where they'd whispered futures under quilted stars. Mr. Callahan, hollow-cheeked in his armchair, pressed a gift into Alex's palm, Jamie's old watch. Leather band worn soft. "He want you wearing time now. For both of you." The engraving inside, "Forever yours, Jay," sent Alex fleeing to the fire escape, where snowflakes melted on lashes as he wept. Theo found him there, coat dusted white. "Want to talk?" They huddled, sharing stories. Theo's first love. A college fling shattered by parental disownment. Alex's hidden heartaches pre-Jamie. Vulnerability bridged them deeper. That night, evolving into lovemaking by candlelight. Their bodies a dialogue of give and take. Theo's fingers tracing tattoos of architecture Alex bore like secret maps. Afterward, tangled in sheets, Theo murmured, "You're not replacing him. You're honoring him by living." New Year's dawn crisp. Resolutions whispered over champagne flutes on a rooftop party Theo's friends hosted in Chelsea. Fireworks bloomed over the skyline. And amid the cheers, Alex proposed, not marriage, but commitment. "Move in with me? Build this with me." Theo's yes was a kiss that tasted a possibility, sealing it under exploding lights. Spring thawed defenses further. The community center neared completion. Murals blooming on walls, queer icons in vibrant strokes. Jamie's face among them, painted from a photo Alex supplied. Opening day buzzed, politicians ribbon snipping, kids from local schools touring with wide eyes, donors mingling. Alex's speech trembled at the podium. "This space is for the silenced voices, the hidden loves. My partner Jamie taught me that. He believed in stories that changed the world. Let's write more." Applause thundered. But the real thunder came after. A young teen, no older than 16, approached shy. "Sir, I'm scared to tell my dads. But seeing this, maybe I can." Alex knelt, heart full. "You can. And when you do, you're not alone." Family swelled the crowd. Frank in a polo that strained at his belly. Clapping loudest, Evelyn dabbing tears with a lace hanky. Sisters snapping candids for the gram. Theo stood beside, hand in Alex's back pocket, a casual claim that felt revolutionary. Dinner followed at a soul food joint in Harlem. Plates piled with collards and cornbread. Frank raised his glass to Jamie and to new chapters. "Alex, you make us proud." Every damn day, the toast landed like grace, dissolving old barriers. But drama brewed unbidden. A tabloid hack, some sleazy freelancers sniffing for clicks, dug into the center's funding, twisting Alex's eulogy into grieving lovers' lavish tribute. Taxpayer cash for personal vendetta. Calls flooded the office, outraged callers spewing slurs, supportive allies rallying. Alex's phone buzzed nonstop, voicemails a venomous chorus. Sleepless, he paced their apartment. Now Theo's books mingling with Jamie's on shelves, doubt creeping. Is this worth the hate? Theo anchored him, brewing tea at dawn. Hate's loud, love's louder. Fight like Jamie would. Together, they drafted responses, press releases reclaiming narrative, community forums turning poison to power. The backlash peaked at a town hall. Hecklers jeering for back rows. Alex took the mic. Voice steel-forged, "This isn't about me. It's about kids like my friend was, dreamers who deserve doors opened, not slammed. If loving fiercely offends you, look inward." The room split, boos and cheers clashing, but a standing ovation from the youth section drowned it in. Frank, in the audience, later growled, "Handle that like a man. Your ma and I, we got your back." Posted on Facebook, and everything. Summer scorched in, pride's afterglow fading into routine's comfort. Alex and Theo vacationed upstate, a cabin by a lake mirroring their first tentative days. Canoeing at dusk, they swapped dreams, adopting one day, traveling to Stonewall's echoes in foreign streets. Nights by firelight, Alex read Jamie's letters aloud, Theo listening with a reverence that wove past into present. Intimacy deepened, explorations lazy and intense. Bodies learning rhythms unique yet echoing the love that shaped Alex. Autumn leaves turned again, marking a year since the funeral. Alex organized a memorial hike in the Catskills. Family and Theo in tow, boots crunching trails Jamie adored. At the summit, wind whipping scarves, they scattered petals from his favorite wildflowers. Evelyn prayed. Frank shared a flask toast to the kid who taught us heart over habit. Descending, Alex lagged with Theo, hand clasped. This us, them, it's the truth he revealed. Love's not loss. It's legacy. Back in the city, life layered richer. The center thrived, workshops on coming out scripts, art classes birthing rainbows from pain. Alex's firm promoted him, trusting his vision for inclusive designs. Family evolved. Maria's wedding where Alex walked her. Theo best man, Sophia's baby shower. Uncles-to-be cooing over ultrasounds. One velvet night. Skyline aglow. Alex knelt in their living room. Ring simple platinum. Engraved with wings. Theo's gasp turned to tears. Yes, a vow that bound wounds to wonders. As they embraced, Jamie's watch ticked on Alex's wrist. Time marching not alone, but allied. In truths spoken, silences shattered. Alex found the profoundest design, love as endless renovation. Each revelation a room for grace. The engagement ring caught light like a captured star, a quiet revolution on Theo's finger as they navigated the city's pulse. Fall deepened, air crisp with change, and Alex's world, once a monochrome sketch, bloomed in vivid strokes. But joy's canvas invited shadows, wedding plans stirred ghosts, invitations a delicate dance around healed fractures. Jamie's family embraced the news with tearful calls, Mrs. Callahan insisting on hosting the rehearsal dinner, her voice quavering. James would dance the tarantella at this. Mark my words, Frank, ever the pragmatist, grumbled about fancy tuxes costing an arm, but surprised Alex with a check for the venue. Make it right, like you and that teacher deserved. Evelyn dove into preparations, her sewing machine whirring late nights over cummerbunds embroidered with subtle rainbows. Sisters orchestrated, Maria the planner, Sophia the photographer, their excitement a whirlwind that swept doubts aside. Yet undercurrents tugged. A bachelor party, Theo's idea. A low-key bar hop in the village, turned confessional. Beers loosened tongues among friends, stories of exes who fled closets, families that fractured. One buddy, a burly firefighter named Rico, clapped Theo's back. Man, after my divorce, wife couldn't handle the real me. I thought love was done. Then you two? Proof it's patient. Alex, buzz and bold, raised his pint to the ones who wait. And the ones who teach us to leap. Laughter roared. But in the cab home, vulnerability crested. Theo confessed a fear. What if I'm the rebound? The safe choice after his fire? Alex cupped his face. Earnest. You're the steady flame that keeps me warm. Jamie lit the spark. You fan it eternal. Winter weddings whispered romance. Snow-dusted chapels evoking purity reborn. They chose a loft space in Soho. Exposed beams Alex at Sketchin College. Now alive with fairy lights and fresh blooms. Vows crafted in stolen hours. Alex is promising to build with you. Brick by honest brick. Theo's pledging to turn every page. Your story intertwined with mine. The day dawned ethereal. Flurries veiling the skyline like veils. Guests filled the room. Queer kin from the center. Theo's bookish circle. Russo-Callahan clans mingled in awkward grace. Frank walked Alex down the aisle. Grip firm. Whispering. Proud. Son. Damn proud. Evelyn dabbed eyes beside Mrs. Callahan. Their hands clasped over shared loss. As rings exchanged, a string quartet played Hallelujah, Jamie's favorite. Notes weaving ache into anthem. The kiss sealed it, tender, triumphant. Cheers erupting like fireworks. Reception buzzed, tables groaning with fusion feasts. Nana's braciole beside Theo's mom's spanakopita. Speeches flowed. Maria's tear-jerking toast to brothers in love. Blood or chosen. Rico's body yarns earning blushes. Frank stood last. Voice rumbling unsteady. I wasn't always the dad you needed. Alex. Buried my own truths under work and worry. But watching you, loving open. Fierce. That's the man I wish I'd been. To Theo, welcome. To my boy, you spoke volumes today. Hugs swallowed him. The patriarch's walls fully felled. Honeymoon called to the Amalfi coast. Cliffs tumbling to azure seas. Lemons ripening gold. They wandered lemon groves. Hands linked. Sharing dreams deferred. Fostering teens from the center. Penning a memoir on grief's alchemy. Nights in whitewashed villas. Bodies entwined under mosquito nets. Love a symphony of rediscovery. Gentle caresses mapping scars. Passions peaking with the tide's roar. One sunset. On a terrace overlooking infinity. Alex gifted Theo a locket. Inside, a tiny sketch of their three, Jamie, eternal. Watching. Return brought grounded bliss. The center expanded. Grants flowing from mentorship pods. Alex mentored a shy apprentice. Diego, 19 and grappling with his own silences. How'd you know it was worth the risk? Diego asked over coffee. Alex smiled, ring glinting. Because the alternative, a life half-built. Love completes the structure. Spring unfurled petals and possibilities. Sophia announced her pregnancy, enlisting Alex for nursery designs, cribs like cradles for dreams. Family barbecues in Astoria Park teamed, Frank manning the grill. Theo debating history with Mr. Callahan. Kids chasing frisbees under oaks. One afternoon, a call pierced the idol, the drunk driver, out on parole after scan time, seeking forgiveness through a victims group. Rage boiled, Alex's fists clenched, visions of confrontation sharp as rebar. Theo tempered him, go if it heals. But let it go. 2. The meeting, in a Stark community hall, faced a broken man, hollow eyes, trembling hands. I replay it nightly. No words fix it, but I'm sorry. Alex's voice emerged controlled. Sorry doesn't raise him. But your change? That honors every life swerved from ruin. No absolution given. But chains loosened. Forgiveness not for the man, but Alex's heart. Summer hummed with milestones. Their first anniversary. celebrated on the rooftop where Jamie's kiss ignited it all. Candles flickered, wine poured, Theo reading poetry, Whitman. Of course. We two, the roots of one tree. Lovemaking followed, slow and sacred, bodies affirming life's persistence. Fall's harvest brought harvest of souls. The center hosted a vigil for lost queer lives. Lanterns floating on the East River like prayers. Alex lit one for Jamie, Theo's arm around him. He's here, Theo whispered. In us. Evelyn, watching from shore, nodded, her faith evolved. Rosary now a bridge to broader heavens. As leaves turned, Alex reflected, from funeral's mud to this mosaic of mercy. Love's truth had remade him. Silent no more, he spoke for Jamie, for Theo, for the boy he'd been. In every word, a world widened. Years wove their tapestry subtle, threads of joy and quiet trials interlacing like veins in marble. Alex and Theo's home in Greenpoint evolved, walls lined with art from Center Kids. A study where Alex drafted pro bono plans for shelters. Theo curating shelves of memoirs that mirrored their own. Mornings started with coffee rituals. Theo's books open beside Alex's sketches. Conversations meandering from current events to cosmic wonders. Parenthood beckoned soft. After fostering two teens, a brother-sister duo, Marco and Leah, 16 and 14, fleeing unsupportive homes, they navigated the chaos of court hearings and heart-to-hearts. Marco, guarded with his sketches of dystopian cities, bonded with Alex over drafting tables. You make broken things beautiful. Leah, fiery with poetry slams, found in Theo a listener for verses raw as open wounds. Adoption papers signed on a rainy spring day. The kids' hugs fierce, family forged, not fated. Frank's health faltered that summer, prostate shadows on scans, but he faced it with gruff humor. Chemo sessions dubbed spa days. Alex sat bedside, holding court with stories of center triumphs, a kid's scholarship, a wedding officiated in their garden. You built good? Son, Frank rasped, hand gripping. Better than I ever could. His passing came gentle. Autumn leaves framing the hospital window. The funeral, ironically sunny, saw Alex eulogize, Dad taught me strength in silence, and show me power in words. Rest easy, builder of us all. Evelyn leaned on him after, whispering, he loved you true. Every stubborn inch, grief cycled anew, but softer edged. Theo planned a memorial hike, echoing Jamie's, the kids carrying Frank's old toolbox as talisman. At the peak, Marco quipped, Nano would have hated the climb, but loved the view. Laughter healed, a balm on fresh scars. The center burgeoned into a network, satellites in Queens and Harlem. Programs for elders sharing Stonewall lore with Gen Z firebrands. Alex keynote at national conferences, his voice steady. Love's architecture demands bold lines, no hiding corners. We've blueprints safe harbors. Now, let's inhabit them. Accolades followed. Architecture awards etched with Jamie's initials. Honorary degrees where he'd joke. From silent draftsman to loudmouth advocate. Thanks. Love. Theo's career flowered too, a library branch dedicated to queer histories. Shelves groaning with tomes he'd championed. Their partnership deepened in anniversaries marked by travel, Santorini sunsets mirroring Amalfi vows, Tokyo's neon whispers echoing pride nights. Intimacy remained vital, date nights in jazz dens. bodies rediscovering in hotel sheets, passions tempered by time into profound knowing. Challenges arose, as they must. Leah's coming out at school sparked backlash, slurs scrawled on lockers. A principal's blind eye. Alex and Theo rallied. Lawyers looped. Protests penned. The center's counselors a lifeline. At the dinner table, Leah trembled. What if they hate me forever? Theo cupped her hand. They might. But we love you louder. And the world's shifting one brave heart at a time. Marco added, like Dad's buildings. Sturdy against storms. The fight won concessions, sensitivity training. Allies emerging, and Leah bloomed. Her poetry chapbook launching at the center to sold-out cheers. Marco's path twisted teen angst into artistry. College acceptances at RISD. His portfolio a fusion of Alex's precision and Jamie's whimsy. Dropping him at dorms. Alex hugged tight. Design worlds that welcome all. Kid, pride swelled, mingled with the ache of empty nests to come. Evelyn, silver-haired sentinel, moved closer, a garden apartment blocks away. Her kitchen a hub for grandkid chaos. Sundays brimmed, Zeppole frying. Stories of old Brooklyn swapped with kids' TikTok tales. Maria's twins toddled. Sophia's boy chased Leon tag. This, Evelyn beamed one chaotic afternoon, is the abundance God promised. Messy, perfect, a decade post-funeral. Alex stood at Jamie's grave. Weeds tamed to wildflowers. How BSI. Kids scattering petals. 10 years, Alex murmured. Feels like yesterday and always. A breeze stirred, carrying distant laughter, perhaps imagination, perhaps more. The watch ticked steady. Time's gift. Legacy rippled. The Center's model franchise nationwide. Scholarships bearing Jamie's name graduating healers and historians. Alex penned his memoir, Blueprints of the Heart, chapters raw with funeral truths, soaring with redemptions. Bestseller lists surprised him, but reader letters didn't. You spoke for my silence. Thank you. One twilight eve, family gathered for a vow renewal. Silver bands exchanged under string lights in their backyard. Vows updated, through losses layered. Loves multiplied. I choose you anew. Kisses sealed amid cheers. Kids whooping. Evelyn toasting. To endless chapters, as stars pricked the indigo. Alex gazed at his mosaic, Theo's hand in his. Children's futures unfolding. Echoes of Jamie and Frank in every bond. The boy who'd whispered fears now roared truths, proving love's ultimate design, resilient, radiant, revealed. In that eternal architecture, silence yielded to symphony, and the heart, once hushed, sang on.